For starters, let me just state the obvious that yes, I do understand that this is only week 2 of Seasonal Lost, but I still just wanted to give my thoughts on what I think of it so far. Now, this is also the very first season that I know of that we haven't gotten a roadmap, so I guess anything could be a mystery down the road. And of course, we haven't even played with the exclusive exotic that's tied to the season yet. So there's still a decent amount of stuff that could happen, of course. And we have 3 months. I technically count it as 3 months. I know that we still have a little ways until Witch Queen, instead of just like the regular 3 months for a season. But we do have the Bungie 30th anniversary that's in December. So I kind of use that as like almost like a mini season that will keep our attention until Witch Queen. But regardless, 3 months, there could be any kind of surprise that they could throw at us. I do understand that they have a decent amount of story to have each week, so there's that. But yes, this whole season is pretty much a mystery when it comes to actual details on what could happen in the game over time as the months go by. Now, for starters, I want to talk about the 6-player activity. I do genuinely enjoy it. The problem is that I think that Umbral focusing has made it a little bit problematic, as in, you can get one of the things that I have openly said that I want them to return with, which is the tier 3 focusing of weapons, where you get 2 perks instead of just 1. But sadly, there is a cap to that, so I guess there's that. But I have more interest in grinding for weapons that have 2 perks rather than just 1. And as of right now, the only way they get the 2 perks is by focusing Umbral engrams. But I do believe that there might be maybe some upgrades inside the artifact thing that's tied to the season, and or there is a triumph that's tied to a legend version of this seasonal activity. So maybe we'll see double drops inside that activity. I have no idea. But regardless, though, the mode is fun. It's just, like I said, the loot becomes a big problem on the incentives when you have something that's technically better than doing that mode. But that's just me saying it for now. You know, fast forward maybe a month later, maybe I'll be like, I'm not really into this anymore. I've done it so many times. So, and that kind of happens. Like, that happened with me with Override. I did enjoy it in the beginning, but then after a while, it just got kind of tedious, and I was just kind of bored of it. But I still am waiting for a activity that's like Sundial. I know, shocking, you thought I was going to say Menagerie. Menagerie, I do enjoy. But I also am saying in regards of like a smaller seasonal activity, not even just tied to loot, I really did enjoy the sundial on the different aesthetics and stuff like that. So, like as you go to different like time periods or whatever the heck it was fun. But I would like to see like a mashup of Menagerie and Sundial in some shape or form in the future. That'd be really cool. Now, when it comes to the story, this is where a lot of people are kind of disappointed, because Savathun is acting like as if she's here in regards of being an ally. She's being nice. She's not trying to trick us. But we've seen the trailer of Witch Queen where she betrays us, gets Hive Guardians, and yeah. So, but here's the thing. I've put on my tinfoil hat and have made some conspiracies myself, where I think that they might have a huge twist at the end of the season where maybe we're not really seeing it directly on behalf of like a what it is going to be, rather than what we've pretty much seen with the trailers. Like, we're just putting 1-to-1 together and being like, yep, she's just going to betray us, the end. There could be way more than we realize that will probably be thrown at us throughout this season. I'm hopeful about that, at least, because, yeah, it would be kind of lackluster if there wasn't really any huge twists or turns as we progress the story. Like, in the beginning of Season of the Splicer, as it progressed, I got more, like, that feeling of, oh, Osiris is very sus and stuff. So having that in your story for your seasonal content is very important, especially since it lasts 3 months and you want your players to come back. for 3 months. But yeah, when it comes to the story, it's still interesting regardless. Having the Dreaming City come into effect again is really nice. Seeing Marasov come back, even though I don't really care for her as a character. I know, don't get the pitchforks. More of a Petra, I don't know. But when it comes to the Dreaming City. But yeah, when it comes to the weapons, though, that's where I'm very curious, and I've been having a lot of fun. I like a lot of the new roles that they have, some of them better than others. Headstone is kind of funny, in my opinion. Just getting a headshot on an enemy just to spawn a stasis crystal is just kind of entertaining. I don't know, I guess I'm small brain for that. But regardless, I just like that. Specifically. But the weapons themselves are actually pretty good. There's, like I said, the decent new roles that we have. We have some returning reissued weapons that have new roles to them. We got 2 new Iron Banner weapons. We've gotten some weapons to Vanguard and stuff like that. New ritual weapon. The rocket launcher, like, the loot is good. The sandbox feels good too. Them doing the infinite primary ammo has made things super nice. I do like the mods in the artifact this season for making fusion rifles basically top tier. Oh my goodness, it makes 1,000 Voices very, very good. So that's very nice. But yeah, like, overall, when it comes to the sandbox and the weapons, that's my favorite thing so far when it comes to the season. Now, my biggest disappointment is more aligns on the what if rather than this is gonna happen. As the 3 months go by, I'm worried that we're not going to see any sort of big impact to reasons of coming back to the game other than, hey, we have a legend version of the 6-player activity. And that's where you can get double loot or something. And obviously Grandmasters will make its return again, but that's the one thing that I've always been bothered by, is specifically, why do we have a power grind? I really don't understand. Like, we always go back to ground zero, and we have to grind back up to where we were the last 3 months to do Grandmasters, when personally I think that there should be no power grind. If there's going to be, maybe at the expansion, make a big one, and then after that, just leave it behind. And have Grandmasters start day 1. If you want to start doing endgame content, there you go. I mean, same thing with even Vault of Glass. They put the Master Vault of Glass now at 1360. It was 1350 before. So now you have to get your artifact back to 20. If you want to be, like, at that, good spot of having a challenge, but also not get that much of a challenge. Like, really, really bad. Artifact to 20 and your power level to the max that I believe is 1330. It's just, that stuff is really tedious. They need to get rid of that. I know that they do that for playtime, but there's better ways of doing this than doing power grinds. Personally, especially with weapon crafting becoming a thing down the road, and the way that I'm hearing about it sounds very interesting, where if you're playing with a weapon for so long and you're enjoying it, and getting a lot of kills and whatever to it, you'll be able to craft exactly what you want at some point. It sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it would be interesting then. They would be able to reissue weapons, personally. They would, where they just add maybe 2 new perks to that weapon. Maybe every season, the incentive is going back to old content to get those new perks, to start getting something that's interesting, to maybe a Last Wish weapon that didn't have that perk originally, but now does with this new season or something. That'd be something of an incentive that I think that would be way better than power leveling, in my opinion, because it's just a number. It doesn't make an impact to your gameplay, and that's what really sucks. Like, if I'm overpowered, doesn't matter. But if the enemies are overpowered over me, that's a different story. Not fair. But the weapons, that's the big incentive. They do change the game. They do change your gameplay. So maybe they could do something along those lines, but not make it super tedious where it's almost like you have to regrind everything every single season just to get certain things. But if they tie it to the weapon crafting, where if you're already using that weapon for so long and you've been doing so much with it, there you go. You can start crafting the new perks once you have that new season come around. I don't know. Something. Just something. But Festival Lost, that I know that it's a seasonal event that's a free event. It's not really part of this season in a way. It's like a little separate thing, but I do love Festival Lost. I know that it's been pretty much copy and paste, but here's the thing. I really do hope that they changed it from last year. Last year was awful, terrible. The fact that you had these keys that you had to go out of your way and go play different modes to get them was what really made me disappointed. Most of the time, I just wanted to grind the Haunted Forest, kind of treat it like the Solstice of Heroes with the EAZ. But instead, what you were supposed to do was go and play Crucible matches, strikes, whatever, get the max amount of keys that you can hold, go into the Festival Lost activity, the Haunted Forest, open up your chests, do it maybe like 1 or 2 times, get your loot, and then go back and do Crucible for a good like 2 hours. Like, you were spending barely any time in the Haunted Forest, and that was a big shame. I really enjoyed that mode, and I think that they can definitely evolve it better, but I think that they should have the key system kind of go out the door, or kind of switch it back to the candy system, because that was way better, because you got candy anywhere in the game, but it was a lot more beneficial if you were doing the new mode, you know? More incentive of doing the mode. That would have been way, way better. I think that's one of the things that these seasonal activities need to do is focus a specific activity that's to it, so like the EAZ or the Haunted Forest, and then have a incentive to still play the regular stuff that you like to do that will benefit you for that seasonal activity as well. Not make a bigger focus on the external stuff over the seasonal free event activity thing. I don't know. But I am excited for dinosaur armor. But yeah, I guess when it comes also like the armor, the aesthetic, I like the designs. I really do. Story, again, I hope that it's not just very predictable. The seasonal activity is fun, but I feel like we'll probably get fatigue on it as time goes on. I don't know. It's kind of like up in the air, but right now I'm kind of like, I like it, but I'm worried about the future. That's basically my end thoughts on what I'm feeling about this season so far. But regardless, though, when December hits, I'm really excited that we will be getting a new dungeon, guaranteed, and a brand new 6-player activity as well. And we'll have some weapons to grind for, like Galahorn and 1,000-Yard Stare and Eyes of Luna. So, I mean, that's pretty nice. That's very, very nice. So, regardless, though, I'm just here for the long run. I want to see what goes on, and I'm going to continue every single week, do the story, and upload it to the channel as well, because I want to express that journey of mystery, but also probably predictable at the same time, hopefully not, on what may happen. And I want to thank all of you for the support on that as well with last season. It was kind of new for me. I normally don't do a Let's Play-esque thing where I do the story, I show the dialogue, whatever, but these seasons are great because every week I can come back, see what the story is, stream it, and then obviously upload to the YouTube channel for all of you to watch if, for example, you can't see the story or whatever yourself, or you don't want to get this season, you want to skip it, and but you still want to know what goes on and have me being an idiot as usual. So, but you know, I like it so far. I just wish that there was a little bit more. The sad truth is for me, for seasonal content that's 3 months long, it would be nice if every season we had 1 strike, 1 Crucible map, and 1 Gambit map every single season, and maybe like a dungeon or a raid. But I think that's asking a lot. But personally, I'd be even fine with just a strike and a Crucible map, and then like kind of take turns on what gets something next season or something. But regardless, I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you like it? Do you feel worried about the future like me? You just along for the ride at the same time like me? Let me know in the comments down below. But regardless, I hope you have a Chibi-tastic night, evening, morning, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Chibi out.